A very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome back to a class of English. And today I'm here again with another video on one of the literature chapter, that is the adventure of Blue Carbuncle. In the previous class we discussed about the notice writing, and I hope that you really know and learned that how to write down a notice. And today we'll discuss about the chapter The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, written by Arthur Conan Doyle. So first of all, let's read about the author. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. He was a novelist and writer of detective and science fiction. His famous detective Sherlock Holmes and his friend Dr. Watson are immortal characters. Some of his works are A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of Foe, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and The Hound of the Baskervilles. So today we'll discuss about one of the short extracts of the 56 short Sherlock Holmes stories written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And this is the 7th story or 12th in the collection of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. As it is a short extract, a short part has been taken from the famous detective stories, that is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. The following extract is adapted from a Sherlock Holmes mystery by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The detective's famous approach that uses logic and deduction comes into play when he tries to solve the crime. So this following extract, this following chapter, The Adventure of Blue Carbuncle, is actually a small part that has been taken from the mystery of Sherlock Holmes written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And this famous detective story here reveals the uses of the logic and the deduction that happens in the play, in the novel, when Sherlock Holmes tries to solve the crime. So here it has been displayed or depicted that how logic and deduction, the logical reasoning and the result happens when one tries to solve the crime or the mystery. So let's find out what happens in this extract. I called on my friend Sherlock Holmes on the second morning after Christmas. He was sitting on the sofa in a brown dressing gown, holding a pipe with a pile of crumpled morning papers at hand. Beside the couch was a wooden chair. On the back of the chair hung a dirty, worn, hard felt hat. A lens and forceps lay upon the seat of the chair. Obviously, Holmes had hung the hat over the chair in order to examine it. Here, the narrator is telling us that he had called on his friend Sherlock Holmes on the second morning after Christmas. We know that the Christmas occurs or happens every year on 25th of December. So here the narrator is telling us that he called on his friend Sherlock Holmes on 27th of December after the second morning of Christmas. And when he came, he was sitting on the sofa in a brown dressing gown, holding a pipe in his mouth, and there were kept a pile of crumpled newspapers at hand. And beside the couch means a sofa or a settee, and by the side was kept a wooden chair, and on the back of the chair was hung a dirty, worn, torn, which was hard to felt hat, and besides that there was kept a lens and a forceps for the examining tool. These all are lens, forceps are examining tool. They were also kept on the seat of the chair. Obviously, Holmes had hung the hat, and it was quite clear that Holmes had just hung that hat over the chair just to examine it, just to inspect it. Perhaps I interrupt you, I said. Not at all. I'm glad to have a friend with whom I can discuss my results, said Sherlock. Then I asked when I just went to him, as he has called me. I asked him perhaps I had just intervened in his work. I asked him. Then he replied, no, he was glad to have a friend with whom he can discuss his results. He added, the matter is an ordinary one, he continued, but there are some points of interest in it. Then Sherlock said that this matter was not quite difficult to solve, and he continued, but there are few things that are really of great interest. I seated myself in his armchair and warmed my hand before his crackling fire. So I just as he was sitting on the couch, and I just sat on the armchair that was kept beside the couch and started warming my hand, as there was a fireplace and the fire was burning in that. Although it looks very ordinary, a deadly story or crime must be linked to it, I guessed. Then I said to Sherlock, on his question, I said that even though there are no points to discuss more and it looks very ordinary, but a deadly story or crime, but we should just introspect it or examine it from the point of view of a deadly story, or the crime must be linked, must be connected to it one way or the other, I guessed. No crime, laughed Sherlock Holmes. Let me tell you that the hat came here. It was 4 o'clock on Christmas morning, and Peterson, the commissioner, was walking home. A tallish man carrying a fat goose was walking ahead of him on the road. As he reached the end of the sheet, a little knot of rough men attacked the man with the goose. At this, Sherlock Holmes laughed and said, no, it was not a crime. Let me tell you that how this hat came here, which was hung on the back of the chair. Then he explained that it was the time 4 o'clock on the Christmas morning, and Peterson, who was a commissioner, the uniformed attendant, the police, was going back to his home. So at the time, a tallish man was carrying a fat goose and was walking ahead of him on the road. So there was a tall man who was carrying a fat goose on his head, in his hand, and was walking on the road and ahead of the commissioner. As he reached the end of the street, as he was at the end of the road, a little knot of rough men. Knot here means a group of people standing close to one another. So a group of small people attacked the man with the goose. The man, who was a tallish man, was in his hand there was a goose. One of the hoodlums knocked off the tall man's hat as he aimed a blow at him. The tall man raised his stick to defend himself, and swinging it over his head, smashed the shop window behind him. Peterson rushed forward to protect the victim, but the man, frightened by Peterson's uniform, took to his heels. So as he was walking ahead, one of the hoodlums. Hoodlum means a person from the gang who was in the crime, a vandal or a lout. One of the hoodlums knocked off the tall man's hat. Then he knocked at the tall man's hat as he aimed a blow at him. The tall man raised his stick too, as the tall man just took his stick and tried to defend himself, and just swinging it over the hoodlum's head, and that smashed the shop window behind him. When he took his stick and swung it, and that's why the window glass smashed, that was behind him. And Peterson, who was a commissioner, who was a police, just rushed forward to protect the victim, the man with the tall goose, the fat goose. But the man, frightened by Peterson's uniform. But the man who was the victim, frightened from the Peterson's uniform, and just took to his heel. and he just ran away. So today we have just discussed a lot about this chapter. In the next video we'll discuss more. So I'm going to share the PDF of this chapter so that you can have a reading of this chapter, and when you will discuss more about this chapter in the next class, you will be able to understand more. So just watch this video carefully and go through the PDF, go through this chapter which I'm going to share with you. Okay, thank you.